Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of the most amazing base build you have ever seen. On the screen I put all building materials needed to finish up the base. I really advise you to get it all beforehand and not make it on the go, so your building experience will be a lot better. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is build a square formation of ladders. So basically we're going to stand on a ceiling, build the ladders around us and make sure the ladders are on the inside of the ceiling, like all on the same ceiling, because otherwise you won't be able to climb up on the right side, because you want to climb up on the outside of the ladder. So not like it was before, but like it is right now. As you can see, now I can actually climb up the ladders from the outside on every single one. That's what you need. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna put down in our base are the smithies. So we're gonna try and find the right leather. This isn't the right one, obviously. So I'm gonna take the one behind it to make sure I got the right angle, to make sure everything is 100% straight. I'm gonna climb just over it normally. I'm gonna try and find the smithy, there we go. And I'm gonna try and place it in the corner. I'm obviously using K mode now, so it's a lot easier to see how far I can go and where exactly I can put it down. Seems like a right spot, so put it down. Next one right next to it, perfectly. Next thing I'm gonna do is put a vault next to it. So basically we're gonna have 2 smithies, 1 vault, 1 fabricator, and then 3 cam benches. And 1 vault in between the 3 cam benches and the fabricator as well. Next up is gonna be the first vault. As you saw, doing exactly the same thing, climbing up the ladder, pushing K mode and making sure it's not too far out from myself, so I can see in K mode how far I'm actually getting out. Since I'm already in the right position to put the fabricator down, I'm just gonna stay right where I am, still in K mode. Gonna press on the fabricator and I'll just put him down as well, just to my liking. Just make sure to not space it out too much, because otherwise we'll get in trouble later on for the remainder of the build. I can do exactly the same with the vault, just stay in K mode, put the vault down just so it looks all nice and good. Again, not too far spaced out, just so it looks nice and clean. Now for the cam benches, we're gonna do exactly the same thing. You know how it works now. Climb up the ladder, select the cam bench, climb over it in K mode so they're all nice and straight and aligned, and press them down. Really make sure it's all tight. Can't stress it enough, because otherwise we're gonna get in trouble later on with the build. So this is good, not too far out, like just on the limit. There we go. We're not gonna put a vault down next to the cam benches, but we're just gonna leave that there. Look at that, doesn't that look beautiful, eh? Now the next thing is gonna be all the vaults on the other side of the base. It's gonna be 10 vaults next to each other, so this is gonna be an easy and a quick one. Put out a vault again, K mode, go to the corner, put the first one down. That's only the only one that's gonna be a bit hard and not even, let's be honest. Put it down. Don't do that, obviously that was stupid. So let's try it again. There we go, put it down. And then just go to the right and keep putting them down. It's pretty easy. Should be around 10 volts, but you can go all the way to the diner gate. That's really up to you. So what I'm gonna do now is build the platform, all the ceilings, to put our tech replicator on. So we're gonna be building a 4x4, as you see me doing here right now. Not too close to the cam benches, because we're gonna be building a ramp down, so you can walk easily up and down. Then we're gonna be putting 2 more ceilings out, so you got a bit more space to walk on and to put the tech replicator down, and 2 ramps so you can walk up and down the ceilings. Next, you're gonna get out your tech replicator, walk on the stair again so it's all lined up, and you're gonna go on to place it down. I already placed it down in the beginning, which later on we'll see was a very bad idea. Thank God this is single player, so I can just craft a new one quite easily. But for you, you probably want to wait putting the replicator down, because we're gonna get in trouble otherwise with the remainder of our build. So just wait putting it down for a bit longer, and we'll do it after. So I've made a little mistake with the build. We don't want to have a 4x4. We actually want to have a 6x4, kind of like a Tetris form, as you can see in the picture here. So sorry guys, but make it exactly as on the picture, 6x4 in a Tetris kind of form, and then we'll go from there. So once that's corrected, we're gonna start putting down some walls. This is gonna make sure that the cryo fridges are actually well placed, because if you don't put the walls down first, then you might have some trouble putting the walls down because it will be obstructed by the cryo fridges. So make sure you put them down first. And then we do the same thing as we've been doing the whole time. Go to the lattice, make sure it's all straight, select the cryo fridge and start putting them down. So the first one is always the hardest. You want to make sure it's in the corner, so you just wiggle it around until you can put it down, not too far from both walls. We want to have a 5x5 on 4 ceilings. So as you can see, I can't put down the cryo fridges because something is blocking it. That something is the tech replicator. That's why I told you guys to not place it down in the beginning. Just put down the ceilings as I showed a bit earlier. Put down all the cryo fridges, and then after, which is going to be the last step, we are going to be putting down the tech replicator. So I'm putting the last cryo fridges down right now. And then after, I'm gonna make sure that all the cryo fridges are gonna be surrounded by walls. Why, you may ask? Well, because it looks way better. Like, if you were gonna be looking later on, if we're gonna be standing on top of our cryo fridges, because we're gonna be walking over them, and we're gonna be seeing giant walls next to the fridges, it's gonna look very bad. While now, everything is gonna look the same color. It's gonna look the same, it's gonna look closed off, which is way prettier. You can see as well that all the time, whilst I'm building the cryo fridges, whilst I'm putting them down, I'm also coloring all the walls, like I'm doing it in between, just to make 100% sure I can reach everything. Because if you do it at the end, it's very hard to get in between all the small spots and to get it done. Once all the cryo fridges have been placed down and they're all walled off, I can then finally put the tech replicator in place and it will look fantastic. Next order of business is gonna be building ceilings all around the cryo fridges, as you see me doing here. This will be for our tech storages, which are gonna be very close to the tech replicator, which is gonna make it so easy and easy to use. You can get rid of the last ramp as well, because we're gonna be building some more on the outside of the ceilings. And for building the ceilings on the outside, because we're gonna be using sloped ceilings, so we'll be putting down a sloped metal wall. Why? Because otherwise you won't be able to connect it to the ceilings, otherwise it will be looking like this, which is obviously not what you want. Once you've put it down, your first one, you can just keep on building until the end. Then you do the same for the other side. You need to put another slope metal wall down, and then you can put on a slope metal roof on top of that. We do this for all the sides, so it looks nice and clean and you can walk up from any side. Now the last thing you want to do to finish up the metal roofs is put down a sloped metal wall in the corners. This will make it look nice and closed off. So for that, sometimes it fits, like you can see here, it doesn't. So what we're going to do is just demolish the two ceilings closest to it, so then we can put it down without a problem. If I can find the right angle, there we go. And the other side as well, and then we just put the roofs back on like nothing happened, and as you can see, it looks all nice and smooth. We do the same thing for the other side. There we go. As a last finishing touch, we're gonna be putting down the trophy holders. So we're gonna be using our ladders again to make sure everything is straight. Put them down in the corners, as you can see we do here. And perfect. Now the last thing we'll be adding on our little platform here is giant metal hatch frames. We're gonna put them over the cryo fridges. Why, you may ask? First of all, it looks better, and second, this will allow us to actually walk over the cryo fridges without falling or glitching through it. The last one obviously didn't put down very good, so I'll pick it up again and I'll place it down properly. Pretty cool, right? Now the next thing is gonna be our refrigerators. We are gonna be putting them very close to the rest of our stuff. Two reasons for that. One, it's easy again to access all the other stuff at the same time, and second, the fridge will be powered by a tech generator, which will be very close to the tech replicator, so that's why I'm building it a bit closer to the other stuff. We should be building around 10 refrigerators, which should be plenty for all of your desires. Next up is tech storages. We're gonna do the same thing down the ladder, and I'll be aligning it with the cryo fridges, and it should work out so it just touches the other end of the cryo fridges. And then we're gonna be making it 3 high, which should be just enough. Doesn't matter if your character is small or tall, you will always be able to access the tech storages. We're gonna do exactly the same thing on the other side, so climb up on the ladder again, just to put down the first one, because after that they'll just latch onto each other, and we'll do exactly the same thing. Not much explanation needed for the next one. We're just putting 2 grills next to the fridges. I like to have them there just in case I cook meat or whatever, so I can just put it straight in the fridges after. This was the last bit we will be putting inside the base. All the rest of the building is going to be outside, so I'm going to cut the video here and put the last part in the last video, because otherwise my computer will explode, because he can't take my video editing program. Cheers boys, talk to you later.